Hey guys, my name is Daniella, and today I just wanted to talk to you guys about some of the benefits that traveling has had on my life. I've had the opportunity to go to Mexico, to Colombia, to Costa Rica, and to Puerto Rico over these past few years, and Aruba, and I've absolutely loved every single minute of it, and I think I've learned a lot from traveling. And I think that's something that if you have the opportunity to do, that you should definitely do it. And I had the opportunity to actually live in Colombia, South America for 2 years after my senior year of high school. All my family's from Colombia, and my parents immigrated to the United States in 1988, and so I was born in New York and I was raised in North Carolina, so I had been in the United States my whole life. And yes, I had traveled and I went to Colombia for a short amount of times, but I never lived there. And so after my senior year, I decided that I wanted to live there. I really wanted to put myself in the culture and really just to learn what it was like to live in this beautiful country that all my family is from. And I think it was just an amazing experience, just an amazing opportunity to go there and to just see what it was like to be there. I loved every minute of it. I loved meeting new people. I loved meeting new faces, and it's just a very different lifestyle from the United States. The United States tends to be very fast-paced, tends to be very, the quicker you get things done, the better. And so I loved being in a country where it wasn't like that. You just took your time, you did what you had to do, but not everything was rushed. If you don't have time to cook dinner, then you go through a drive-thru and you eat in the car, and that's okay, and that's fine here. But in Colombia, that's just not how things were. And so I loved, how different everything is, and I loved how incredible, people are, in both places. But in Colombia, people are just so heartwarming, and they're very loving, and they treat you like family. And here, people are a little different. They're more colder. They don't know how to, treat you sometimes. They're not very open, and that's okay. Here we have a melting pot of all different cultures, and so I love being in Colombia and just being able to feel that family-like atmosphere, even though I had no family around me. I didn't have my family. The closest family I had was 6 hours away, and so just to even feel that just family atmosphere in Colombia was just so incredible. And so that was just some of the differences that I noticed while living in Colombia opposed to living in the U.S. And something else was that in the U.S. we do everything through text and through Snapchat and everything, and that's how we communicate. And even though obviously in Colombia we use technology too, we're not barbarian or anything, but it was so much nicer to, if you wanted to hang out with the friends, then you would go and you would actually sit and get a cup of coffee, or you would spend time with one another, and your relationships were face to face and not always over text or over Snapchat. And so that was something that I thought was something very beautiful from there, and I absolutely loved it. And they say that to travel is to discover that everyone is wrong about other countries, and I think that's absolutely true. I think that a lot of people used to have the wrong image of Colombia. Colombia was the drug cartel capital at a certain point in time in the 1980s and 1990s. But in the early 2000s, they started this campaign called Colombia is Passion, where they would highlight the prettiest places in Colombia, and they would just tell people what Colombia had to offer. And I think that was amazing, because tourism went up 300% since 2002, and 70% of those people have been from the U.S. and from other countries in South America. So I think that's just amazing to to see that change, and to see how people are just so willing to travel and so willing to go to this amazing country. And I've loved going to other countries too. I've been to Costa Rica and to Aruba and to Puerto Rico, and every time I go somewhere, you just learn something new. And I think it's just so eye-opening to just go to a different country and just immerse yourself in a different culture, because you learn so much and you get out of your comfort zone. The U.S. tends to be so comforting and everything's just so easy here, and you have your car and you have your house and you have your job and you have your friends, and everything's the same, and you do have a routine. But when you step out of that comfort zone and when you go somewhere else and you just learn to embrace their culture and embrace the way they do things, and you take a step back and you're like, wow, this is so different, but it's so amazing at the same time, because you just learn so much and you can just take it all in. I think that's something that I just really learned from being in Colombia. I just learned that as much as I love the U.S. and, I was able to go to another country and just take it all in, and I absolutely love Colombia. People ask me all the time, which one would you choose? Would you choose the U.S. or would you choose Colombia? Which one do you like better? And I really can't choose. They're both very dear to my heart, and I absolutely love them both the same. They're just very different, and I think that's what that's why I like them, just because I like the United States for certain reasons, but I also like Colombia for different reasons. You know, if they were the same, then I could choose, but they're not. They're very different countries, and I think every country that you're going to go to is going to be very different than the one you're from and the one that you're used to. And I think that's that's so incredible, is just to go to a different country and see what it's like to live there, and see get used to their language and everything. And I have been very privileged to go to all these different countries, and to learn from all these different people, and meet new people. And so I've absolutely loved it. So if you ever get the chance to go and travel, and to just really put yourself out there, and especially if it's for longer than 2 weeks, if you get to be there for a month or 3 months or a year, just really take that opportunity, just to really embrace the culture and just really take it all in, because it's all so incredible, and you're going to learn so much from it. And I just really encourage everyone, if you ever get that chance, if you want to do an exchange student program, or if you ever get the opportunity to go to a different country, do it. It might be hard. It's not going to be easy to adjust, because even though my family was from there, it still wasn't easy for me to adjust, because I was born and raised in the United States. But it's worth it, because you learn so much, and you'll enjoy it, and you just get out of your comfort zone. Sometimes we need to get out of our comfort zone and get that wake up call that we have to go out, and we should meet new people and learn new things. And so I think that traveling is just an incredible way to do it. So I really just encourage you just to really get out there and just try and travel, and have a little travel fund, and save money up. And so whenever you get a certain amount of money, buy a plane ticket and go and travel and see the world, because there's no reason that we shouldn't go out there and just meet new people and meet new cultures and just do all that. So I just wanted to encourage you guys to travel, and